So,
this is our second semester at Fourier University.
mm-hmm.
We are transfers from a 2-year college.
Yeah.
And so far, while being here, what is your favorite class or type of class you've had so far?
So, I am going to be a nonfiction and creative writing major, and my favorite classes have been my literature classes. So, not my actual major ones. I just
Why?
Because I have one
With
good
the
professor.
teacher voice. Why?
Because I have one good professor that I've told you about, who his classes are my favorite classes that I've had, because they're very in-depth, and we will discuss things very in-depth, and we'll talk about, like, we don't avoid any topics, we'll go into, like, detail of whatever we're covering. We go over some really cool readings. Right now we go over a lot of music. It's just, they're very fun classes, and I learn...
Didn't you get to listen to Sex Pistols for
I
class?
did! The first thing we did this semester, because I've had a class from him both semesters I've been here. This semester, we started off with the Sex Pistols, and we covered an album of theirs that I don't remember off the top of my head, and how it related to the punk movement, and we just did Joy Division, and how it related to the post-punk movement, which basically, it's super depressing, and that's what the post-punk movement was.
So, like, Dead Babies?
Dead Babies was in between a bit.
Okay. And this is the same teacher who decided that you were class bard?
Yes.
Or one of the class bards,
This
and gave you
is the teacher who dubbed me class bard for my, The
and
Wanderer
gave you a
reading.
mug that said, a wise woman once said, "Fuck it, I'm getting a dachshund."
That's what it is.
And she lived happily ever after.
It's the best gift I've ever gotten.
And it's the best mug for you.
Yeah, we had to do readings from, like, either The Wanderer or a couple different selections, and I did The Wanderer, and I also did, I had a voiceover, but then I also recorded myself speed painting scenes and stuff from it, and he thought that was super cool, and he had the class
And
vote.
I edited it.
Yeah, Zoe edited it, because I don't know how to edit. And the class judged, sent in anonymous votes on who they thought, like, the top 3 were, and I was one of the top 3 that won prizes for being honorary bard for the class, so that was cool.
Get us to 100 subscribers and we'll post it.
It's not worth that. It's not that good, because, like,
Get us to 10 subscribers and we'll post it.
It's like it was me trying to do a really dramatic voice and me painting, like, not horribly, but it's filmed on top of a stack of, like, 10 books. And you can just see the side of the books because we couldn't figure out how to crop the video. But no, that was fun. It was fun to do. It took, like, 6 hours. Because I kept having to wait for the paint to dry and then going over it in a new scene and that was without editing, because editing took you a while too.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite class or type of class, Ben?
Any non-journalism class.
We're both just like, fuck our majors.
Yeah, so...
Honestly, yeah. Because they're the classes you take for fun. Like, I'm getting a lit minor.
So I'm a journalism for public affairs reporting major.
But you're going to law.
With double minors in political science and creative writing.
I'm trying to do a lit and a film minor.
I take a lot of journalism classes. Mm-hmm. And I mean, some of my journalism classes are fine, but, like, some of them are also, like, really long and...
Yeah, you have to do
a lot of them
ridiculously long papers for them.
Yeah. And a lot of them are, like, we're learning the same material.
I have 3 classes this semester where we, for, like, a couple weeks, were going over the exact same stuff. It was really weird.
For the first, 6 weeks of class, my political science class and my communication law class were basically we were learning the exact same things.
Fun.
And so it was like, it's so much information and it's the same stuff over and over again. Like, I would do a reading on, Texas versus Johnson for comm law, and I would be doing a reading the next day on Texas versus Johnson in my poli-sci class, and I was just like, I'm done. But, I like my political science classes. I really like my, last semester, I think my favorite class was probably Intro to Creative Writing. This semester, probably either advanced fiction or...
I realized I should have said the name of my class with this professor that I like this semester because it's fucking ridiculous. And I'm not going to remember the whole title, but it's something like Contemporary British and Anglophone Literature, Media in Post-War Britain Era or something.
I love that.
It's so long. My one last semester that I liked the most was called Transatlantic Literary History 2. Or no, 1, because I'm making 2 now. But yeah, their literature classes have long names. Because I don't remember the names of half of mine.
I'm looking at my books to try to remember all my classes.
But no, I have one specifically, but we've gone over this in a couple other classes, that this class focuses around indigenous literature in the U.S. And that's been really cool, because I have no background in that, because I went to Christian schools. I went to white Christian schools.
So, what kind of stuff are you reading? Didn't you just do a project on video game designer?
Yeah, we're doing a project right now that I haven't done my presentation for yet, but that's tomorrow. Where we had to pick someone who is a registered member of an indigenous group that's still present in the U.S. today, who is still alive now, and talk about, like, what they've done. And I picked Elizabeth Leponce, who is an artist and a game designer and a writer, just because, like, we have a big emphasis on, a lot of people are like, oh, like, indigenous people, they aren't really around anymore. But, like, people are still around. They're still creating stuff. Like, they're still doing really cool things. And that's what all of our projects are about, just different people we found and thought they did cool stuff.
I feel really bad that off the top of my head, the only indigenous writer that I can think of is Sherman Alexie.
Yeah, I couldn't have come up with many because I've never had classes where we focused on that. My transatlantic lit class last semester, we went over a little bit. We went over some trickster stories and stuff. And this class, we're talking about more modern books with by indigenous authors about, like, their culture, about themes that are more specific to the culture. And it's been really interesting and really eye-opening, and I've learned a lot. And we were going to talk about dorm life, which I think we may have mentioned a bit.
Yeah, so we're talking about dorm life today, and today started off quite on the wrong foot for both of us.
Go ahead, Zoe. Tell them how your morning went.
I woke up this morning. I couldn't sleep last night, and so it was
Same.
probably like 2, 3 a.m. by the time I finally fell asleep. And I have class at 9:30. And my class starts up at 9:30. The teacher, if you are not there by the time she calls roll, like, I mean, you can get in, but she's not going to mark you down. And so, I am laying in bed. It's 8:30, and I'm like, I'm going to take another 15 minutes. And so I lay back down and sleep. And then I kind of wake up, and I kind of, like,
look over
at Faith, and I'm just like, Faith, what time is it?
And I'm still asleep, and I kind of, like, one eye open, look at my phone, and I'm like, it's 9:30, and then I go back to sleep.
And I'm like, it's 9:30. Shit.
And I just hear a lot of scuffling and drawers slamming open. And
I almost fell off the bunk bed. So I get down, throw on a one-piece jumpsuit that I have that makes me look like Captain Marvel.
A little bit.
And throw on my clothes, and I sprint across campus, because this isn't, like, super far, but it's far enough that, like...
It's further than, like, where my classes are, and it takes me, like, 3 to 5 minutes.
So, I sprint across campus. It's, like, from the far west to the far east. Because, I mean, that's
Kind of.
Buzzard is the edge of campus.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking of the sciences building?
So, I sprint from here to over there, and I managed to get into the classroom at 9:33. I have no idea if she marked me absent or not, but I don't care. I just had to turn in an assignment, so I was just like, okay, whatever, it's fine. This is the only absence that I'll have in this class, because I don't make a habit of this. Usually I arrive like 10 minutes earlier. And then, it's the first Tuesday of the month. So, Faith, why don't you talk about your morning?
So, Zoe always has an earlier class than me. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have a class at 11. That's my first class. So I usually sleep until 9:30 or 10 because I just don't sleep well because of things we'll probably talk about here in a minute. And I got woken up at, was it 9:30 or 10? I think 10 is when they do the first one.
Yeah, they did the first one at 10, because I'm already in class by the time the first one goes off.
I get woken up by this blaring alarm. And at first,
we should really record it next time.
We should, it's horrible. Every first Tuesday of the month, which I always forget every single month since I've been here, they do the emergency alert test. And I start out waking up because I can hear it across campus, because that's how loud it is. I can hear it from outside.
Alert, this is just a test.
Yeah, I can hear from outside, like, this is just a test of the campus alert system.
The EIU campus alert
And I just
system.
sit in bed with my eyes open going, don't do it. Don't you fucking do it. Don't you. And then just, I'm like, don't.
Doesn't it, like, talk to, don't we have, like, a speaker in our room that,
Yeah.
like, talks to you?
It's through the alarm thing we have. We have an alarm that we're on lofted bed, so it's right up by where I'm actually asleep.
Right next to Faith.
And it just starts this
right next to the fire
blaring
alarm.
siren. This blaring siren, and then just alert. This is a test of the campus alerts or whatever. And it's just like, don't do it, don't you? And then it goes off a couple times. And then finally it'll slowly fade. And then I can hear it out on campus, and that will slowly fade. And I'll be like, all right. And I'll go back to sleep.
And then 15 minutes later.
15 minutes later. I'm like, no,
Alert.
go away.
Alert.
Don't you do it.
This is a test of the EIU campus alert system.
So I woke up and was just like, why? I forget that every month. It's so, because like we're in a tiny
Alert.
room. We're in a tiny room, and it's so loud, and I'm asleep. I wake up just angry. Zoe came back and I was like, so the alert system went off again?
And I was just like, yeah, I heard it in class.
And like Zoe, I didn't sleep that great last night because of our lovely neighbors. And this time they had a legit reason. But
We're not gonna talk about that reason.
No, but we live on a floor of freshmen, and they like to stay up until 2 a.m. yelling at each other across the halls and blaring music. And I'm not a fan.
I mean, me
They're
neither.
good people.
They're all really nice
I have
people.
nothing against them. They just stay up super late, and there are days like tonight or tomorrow morning I'll have to get up super early for work, that I'll be laying in bed just staring at the ceiling like, please shut up. Please be quiet.
I mean,
don't
there
wanna...
were a couple times last semester when I had to go out there and be like, hey guys,
I've had to a
gotta
couple
get
times.
up early, can we not?
Yeah,
please?
I've had to a
Thank
couple times when you're not here.
you."
I'll go out and be like, can you please just be quiet? Like, right before we recorded this, I was so worried because someone had their kid brother over, and he was running around just counting very loudly for some reason.
We were just
And I was like, that's gonna be fun.
there's a small child.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay,
is that
then.
a child? But yeah, no, it's interesting. It's been interesting, because we didn't know this was a freshman dorm. Zoe got lied to,
I was
or at least
told
misinformed.
I was told that this was an upperclassman dorm.
It's not.
It is not.
It's like us, our RA is younger than us. There are a couple other juniors, technically.
I think there's 2 other juniors.
And everyone else is freshman, or like sophomore.
Yeah. Yeah, our RA is younger than us. Shout out to Kendra, because
Kendra's great.
I told Kendra to listen to this, so...
Oh, nice.
Hey, Kendra, if you can hear us, this
Kendra's
is your
great.
shout out. We love you.
Kendra's a very good RA. She's very
Kendra
nice.
puts up with my bullshit, aka me out in the kitchenette cooking grilled cheese, being like, Kendra!
Yeah, no, Zoe likes to harass Kendra by just going to her door and just yelling for her
Kendra!
whenever she's there.
Love me, Kendra!
But no, Kendra's a really good RA. There have been times, like when we first moved in, where the freshmen, well, they'll come to us for stuff now a lot because Zoe helps out with stuff. But I just remember, like, the weekend we got here, half the freshmen were, like, missing basic essentials, and we had to
Yeah,
take
I took
them
them all
to
to Walmart.
Yeah, in Zoe's Tahoe.
My big ass Tahoe. We had
got
like 6 people in
we had
it.
like 6 freshmen and then just us, and we took them, and they were just walking around in a group in Walmart, and they didn't know where anything was, and like we
I've
had
been to the Charleston Walmart how many goddamn times?
yeah. Well, I've been to Mattoon's, pretty close. It's similar, but yeah, we had to like tell them where to find things. We had to be like, hey, you're gonna
No
want...
one had bathrobes.
Yeah, no one had bathrobe, no one had shower shoes, no one had hangers, no one had like milk and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we had to be like, hey, you're gonna want this, and like I've never
Because
lived
I had
in a
lived
dorm.
here for I had lived.
Yeah,
I got
Zoe'd
to
been here
move
for a
in.
week.
I got to move in a week early because of like I was
'Cause of
working.
work.
I was working on campus.
Yeah. But I'd never been to dorm, and even I was like, you're gonna need. But
yeah.
also
we
we're
had
juniors,
we had a huge
so...
ass list set up though ahead of time.
Oh yeah,
Like
we planned.
Yes. Like the one of the girls on our floor came to us earlier. We were talking about being parents of the floor. One of the girls
Yeah.
came to us literally not 10 minutes ago, literally like 2 hours ago, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Do you have hydrochloric acid?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like,
Yeah.
"Do you have hydrochloric acid?" I'm like, "Do you have a wart or something? Like, what's
No.
up?" And she's like,
Oh no, I was thinking hydrogen peroxide. Never
"No,
mind,
that's
continue.
what she thought she wanted."
Okay.
Then she was like, "I've got a gash on my foot," and I'm like, "Do you mean hydrogen peroxide? I have hydrogen peroxide."
You have hydrochloric acid, you know.
And she's like,
Just for
yeah,
fun.
that's what I was thinking of. And I'm like, okay,
That's
yeah,
a
I
lot.
have
That's a
hydrogen
lot less
peroxide.
worry.
And then I'm like, do you need some Neosporin? No, I have Neosporin. Do you need a Band-Aid? No, I've got a Band-Aids. Okay, just bring back the hydrogen peroxide when you're done.
I'm surprised I haven't died because I've never sterilized a single wound I've had in my entire life.
It's fine.
I just put a Band-Aid on it. I'm like, I'll live.
Well, a lot of times the Band-Aids have antibacterial stuff in them too.
But yeah. But no, it's been
Do you have any
interesting.
hydrochloric acid?
Yeah, just you got you know, just wondering.
Hydrochloric acid? Okay, then I don't know what that. I don't think you need hydrochloric acid,
Yeah.
my dude, but you know.
But you know, dorm life's been interesting. I wanted to talk about, like, we mentioned in our first episode that we had the Cryptid of the Week thing, where we used to have the whiteboard up and we would try to draw different cryptids and, like, give them little quote or, like, thought bubbles or whatever. Right now, our door is kind of this, like, eldritch nightmare, because we just put up
We
put up eyes.
Well, we did coloring pages last semester.
That's
so it was
true.
Like, it
we
was
did
like the
Star
week
Wars
of finals,
coloring pages.
and
I was stressed as hell.
And so Faith colored Kylo Ren, and I did
I will
a.
explain.
You
So I fucked up.
So
When I colored Kylo Ren, I was
we'll
like,
include a picture of it.
yeah, I
right
was
here.
like, I'm gonna use all the colors because I'm not gonna color him all in black because that's boring. So I picked out all the colors, and I was like, oh, cool, I don't know, rainbow Kylo Ren. And I show it to Zoe, and Zoe's like, Faith?
Faith?
And
You made Vagilo Ren.
I did. I made Vagilo Ren. Because there's that like, fabric thing around his
hood.
head. We'll show a picture. And I did dark red in the middle and lighter red on the outside and didn't think it through. So now we have Vagilo Ren on the door.
Vagilo Ren.
And then just Poe. Like a
Colorful Poe.
A relatively normal...
We have Rain Poe.
Rain Poe.
Rain Poe and Vagilo Ren. And then now it's an Eldritch Nightmare
because we went to a Walmart and we're like, hey, we should do some kind of decoration. And then we found googly eyes and we're like, yes.
And pipe cleaners.
And pipe cleaners.
And then we had some wine.
Yeah, and then we had a competition to who could make, I guess, the weirdest thing out of pipe cleaners. I made Mothman, and Zoe made some
Eldritch horror.
Sleep paralysis demon. That will be in our photo. But no, and then we had, like, big, colorful googly eyes. We had little, just, like, black ones, and we just put them all over the door.
And we put some of them in, like, little, like, clip thing, little
yeah, so they're hanging in like Christmas lights across the door, but
it's eyeballs.
But it's just big eyeballs and a line.
And now we just say it's Magnus Archive themed.
Yeah, because Zoe hadn't listened to that at the time, and I was like, "It's the eye," and you were just like, "What?" And I'm like, "Duh, just wait."
It's the eye.
But yeah, it's themed.
Beholding.
It's themed for beholding.
Beholding.
No more spoilers. So, the layout of this place is so weird as well, of the dorm we're in. And, like, on the subject of door decorations and stuff, those posters that are just everywhere.
I love the bathroom ones because there's always, like, 5 typos in them.
Yeah, and they're so... Well, yeah, they do monthly ones they put on the inside of the bathroom stalls
and
that
it's
are,
called
like...
Toilet Talk.
Yeah, where you can, like, read them. And this month's was, like, how to prevent a virus infection.
Yeah, not viral infection, virus infection.
That one I understand,
and
because I've taken professional writing classes about, like, readability and stuff. I get that.
And then it also said in it, make sure to cook mean and eggs.
Yeah.
Not meat.
I wanted to put up, like, a Gordon Ramsay meme with a little bubble, too. I just never got
Finally,
around.
some good fucking mean.
Yeah, cook mean and eggs. But no,
this mean is fucking raw.
They're honestly not written horribly. They just have a lot of typos.
Yeah.
But aside from those, there are also,
I think
like...
October's was the worst.
That's true. But there are also, like, 1,000 just normal paper-sized posters about, like, different events that the dining centers are having or different, dorm events. There are always, like, 18 of them that are just, like...
We're having a self-care night next week.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm excited
for
about
that, though. I saw the, like,
have
social
I.
justice scavenger hunt or something.
Yeah, I know. I kind
It's
of
in
want to
there
see
right
what
now.
that is.
I'm really interested. Like, they never have any information about what they
Also-
are. They always have a name and a date and nothing else.
Speaking of all of these posters,
Yes.
they are all over the bathrooms.
And again, they're so ominous. It's literally
And
just
they're
like
so
event,
ominous.
date, and no explanation.
And
Maybe a photo.
it's even more terrifying because they're in these bathrooms and...
Oh yeah, and they have mirrors across the wall from each other, so you just see them endlessly reflected. But it's like 8 different posters put on the glass. It's fun.
And the bathrooms on campus in our
Oh
dorm,
yeah, our
specifically,
prison bathrooms.
Our prison bathrooms.
And prison showers.
Yes, the prison
Well,
showers.
not quite prison showers,
No,
but they're pretty
the
close.
showers are like these little metal, like, tubes almost.
Tiny little cubicle looking...
Yeah, they're tiny.
There's also there's a bathtub in there. It's one big open room, and then you have the 4 showers that each have their own curtains to cut them off so no one can see you. And then there's just an open tub on the other side of the room.
And the water in that thing is... The water in that thing is good.
Yeah, we recently figured out it is connected. There is a tub there.
So I'm gonna
But
have
if
Faith
anyone
do
walked
surgery
into the
'cause I need
room,
my
like-
ovaries cut out.
Yeah, if anyone walked into the room, they would just see you taking a bath. Like, there's no curtain, there's no... I don't know why it's there.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why it's
That was
there
the first
either.
thing I saw when I walked in here and started touring the building the first time. I was just like, what the fuck?
Why is there a bath? Why is there a tub? I remember when we did our tour originally, they had us look at Ford.
Yeah, and it was so much nicer.
Yeah, the bathrooms in there are totally different.
'Cause they had just
They're
been
like,
redone.
They're like single bathrooms, and
Yeah.
it has a door, and you can shower.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And I was
oh,
like,
this
oh,
is gonna
that's
be
not so
great.
bad. And
I can
then-
come in here, do this. It was almost like the tanning rooms when you
Kind
go
of,
when
yeah.
you go to go tanning, and like you have your own little space.
Mm-hmm.
And here, no.
But yeah, no, the bathrooms, every time we have someone visit here who doesn't live in this type of dorm, they get confused because it's 2 separate rooms that are connected by a tiny hallway that's next to the door, so you can't see it unless you, like, walk in and look to the right. And it's all, the one is just sinks on both sides, and then you go over and it's all the actual, like, toilets and stuff in the stalls. It's so weird.
And there's also a unisex bathroom in the basement.
Yeah, in the creepy basement, and it's 1 door, and it's super warm down there.
Mm-hmm.
But the sink has really good water pressure.
And the basement always smells like laundry because it's where our
That's
laundry
true. The
machines
basement's
are.
not bad.
So the basement does smell pretty good because it's like always laundry.
So, Zoe had a great idea.
So I had a crisis the other day, as you do.
And it started with me sitting up in bed doing homework, Zoe looking up at me, taking out a razor and going, I'm going to shave my head today. And I was just like, how about you just shave the side of mine down because it's grown out a bit and is already kind of shaved down. And Zoe's like, all right. So we went in and did my head, and then I went to shower.
And this isn't like a leg razor or anything. This is like a proper
No, it's like
wall,
an actual hair razor.
Hair clippers.
With like a bunch of different
I've got a
colors
bunch
on
of
it.
different guards and all that stuff for it.
Yeah.
So
we went in the bathroom, and I had my hair up in like a bunch of different ponytails.
I put in a bunch of ponytails. It was
And
like
I
a
was
really
just-
poorly done Ray cosplay.
Yeah, and I was leaning over the sink, and Zoe was just shaving off the hair, and people would walk into the bathroom and just be like, what?
Okay then.
What are you doing? All right.
And then
Like, our RA walked in and just wanted to watch because it was entertaining, and I was like, okay.
Then cut to 24 hours later.
Yep.
I have decided that I'm going to shave my own head.
And I was busy and could not help at the time.
Faith was watching the Minority Report for class,
Yeah, it's so long. It's so long.
and it's so bad. Tom Cruise.
It wasn't the worst.
No.
I don't like Tom Cruise. It would have been. It's a good concept.
I hope Tom Cruise listens to this.
If
I hope he knows that you hate him.
I'm not a big fan. I'm sorry, Tom Cruise. At least not that movie. I don't think I've seen any other ones with him
At
in it.
least Tom Cruise's thing is that he runs in movies, and it's not
That's
Tom
true.
Hanks who pisses in all his movies.
That's true. He did not piss in this movie. He did
Thank
get his
God.
eyes gouged out, but like, so, but no, seriously, it's a movie called The Minority Report. There are like 2 black people and no other minorities in it, and they are not written well. It's a bad movie. Like, it would have been so much more interesting if it was about the like female characters and if it wasn't just all white people. I would have been fine with it. It was so white. It was so. It was so much. So yeah, no. So shaving your head.
So while you're in there, I was just like, I go into the room down the hall, and I'm like, hey, Faith's too much of a bitch to help me shave
Faith's
my
doing
head.
homework. How dare.
Faith's too much of a bitch to shave my head because Faith's scared she's going to tear up my head. So I'm like, Faith's being a bitch. Will one of you two help me cut my hair? And they're actually in a triple, so they have 3 people in their room.
And that's one of the benefits of living with freshmen is that you can show up and be like, hey, help me with this. And they're like, yeah, okay.
And they're like,
They're very chill.
well, we don't want to do it because they're a little scared that they're going to tear it up. I'm just like, listen, if you mess
That's
it
what I
up, it's
was.
not a big deal. I don't care.
I was worried that, because
I'm
I've
just
never
going to go
even-
through with a, like, I went through with an 8, and I cut
Yeah.
the whole thing at an 8 because I had my hair really long. It was not really long. It was long for me, but
It was short. It was shorter than mine.
Yeah,
If
but
you look in our art, you can see
who is who?
you can see a bit of Zoe's hair in the front of
Yes,
their
I'm
image,
the-
and it's way shorter than that now.
I'm the one in the maroon sweater in the
I'm the
photo,
one with
by
the longer
way.
hair who's like staring off into the distance in wonder.
Yeah,
it's the best
I like
photo
have
I
my
could get
mouth
of
like
myself.
half open.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we never really mentioned that. We do have that actual. We have an actual icon now, and I made
Yes,
that.
it's
I
great.
designed it. I scanned it in. It looked like absolute shit, and I edited it for like 3 hours, and then it was okay.
So I go through and I'm just like, listen, I'm gonna do the whole thing with this one. I just need someone to do like a 4 or 5 on the sides and then clean up the back so that way
Yeah.
it's all even. So I go in the bathroom and they're like, yeah, okay, we'll get Alicia to do it. And I'm like, lit, Alicia's great, perfect. And so I went in the bathroom and I just started going for it. Made a mess, but honestly,
You know, I summoned
But-
some bees.
but I brought like a broom and stuff in there because obviously I'm not gonna leave that a mess because I'm not a dick.
Yeah.
So-
Also, the maintenance people are very nice.
Yeah, the maintenance people are super nice. Yeah, I would. I don't wanna.
They seem very nice.
I don't want.
We'll
Ed
get into
to
that in a
not
minute
like
when
us.
we get on our next topic.
So Alicia comes in, starts doing it, and she's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yes." And she's
But
like,
are you
"Okay."
sure?
She's like, "Okay." And she's like,
Duh.
"I'm scared I'm gonna fuck this up." And I'm like, "If you fuck it up, it's fine." And so she does it. It looks great. I love it. It's very short.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It's a very Furiosa
It's really, really
vibe,
short on the sides. It's a little bit longer in the middle and the top.
but not
It's
much.
nice.
The top is an
pretty short now.
inch. So if
Yeah.
if you know hair clipper things, the top
Mm-hmm.
is at an 8, so it's about an inch long, and the sides are at like a 4.
What'd you do for mine? Because it's shorter.
Yours, I think I did a 5 on yours,
Okay.
because it's longer than this.
Yeah, you can't see in the like icon we have, but I guess if you check out my Twitter, you can.
Half of Faith's head is shaved.
Yeah, half my head's shaved down pretty short, and the other part's longer, and the back is kind of weird, but it meets up technically. I need to fix that.
people were walking in and they're like, "Are you good?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yes, I'm
'cause
shaving my
usually-
head."
Because we've had moments where we walked in and someone was dyeing their hair or shaving out a section of their eyebrow. And it's
walking in on Alicia cutting a little
yeah,
strip
and just
on
saying,
her.
like, it looks bad.
She's cutting a little strip on her
this is a great place
eyebrow. And
Yeah.
she's just like, "Does it look bad?" I'm just like, I mean, it looks like you had a mild mental breakdown, but I mean, it doesn't look bad.
Yeah,
It's
so
a
many
good
people
look.
have breakdowns and just dye their hair in the bathroom, and it's like, I feel that.
Yeah, I was at the point of I can't afford a tattoo right now. They're very expensive, and so I'm gonna I'm gonna cut my hair.
I had mine last summer when I cut my own hair, because it was super long, and I cut it down. Like,
We'll
I
have
do
to do an
2 inches
entire
at a
episode
time, and
on
I
just-
got it to where it is now. Dorm life has its positive aspects, but living with a bunch of freshmen who keep food in their rooms and don't maybe sometimes clean as much as they should has some fun side effects that we've learned recently.
Yes.
So we had ants.
Apparently, there were really bad ants in other people's rooms. The one
Yeah,
time
we got
had a-
woken up yesterday by maintenance going around knocking on people's doors. They didn't get to our room, so I'm assuming it was more toward the showers. Knocking on people's doors and asking if they had ants in their rooms because they were super bad in the bathrooms. And it was like, that's cool.
And I went through and
We had just cleaned.
Yeah, we had cleaned like the day
But
before, and
we
we had
woke
gone.
up. Yeah, we woke up, went through everything, couldn't find any. We've only had mild issues with them before because we clean and keep food in containers and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But they've been an issue in the dorm.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. Because, I mean, like, we've been cleaning and not leaving food out, but occasionally we'll get a couple because there are other rooms that have a ton.
We also had #CockroachGate.
You said they were water bugs.
They
or
were
something.
water bugs. They weren't actually cockroaches. They were really big and they were water bugs.
Here's a fun story.
but
The
they
first time
scared
I
the
saw
shit out
one,
of Faith.
yeah, I hate them. I didn't know that until I saw the first one. I was in the dorm alone. I was in my bed doing homework. I saw something move out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, "Fuck!" And I look over.
Didn't it like go in my laundry?
Yeah, I look over, and there's a fucking cockroach walking across Zoe's half of the room. We have a rug in the middle, so off on the actual like hard floor. And I watched it, and I was gonna go just smush it, and then it started flying places, and I was like, fuck that. And I had a flight instinct, but I couldn't get off my ladder and leave because it was at, like, right across from the foot of my ladder. So I couldn't leave. I just had one foot on the ladder, and I was just holding onto my bed with my phone and just waiting. And it was flying and, like, running around,
I'm
and then it
surprised you didn't
crawled.
throw your phone at it.
I was real close. And then it crawled into Zoe's laundry, and I saw it flying around in there and ran out the door. And there was no one there that day because it was one of those nice weekends where everyone was gone. It was like a Saturday or something.
Was this the long weekend?
It might have been. And I walk out, and there's one person, and I was like, "Hey, dude, do you know? I walk up and I look in, and he's in there cleaning his room, and I'm like, so do you happen to just not have a fear of bugs? And he looks up and is like, what? And I'm like, so there's a cockroach in our room. He walks in, is like, all right, I got this. And it was still in your laundry, so we came back in here. It was in the
Are
laundry
you
basket.
telling me that you two went through my dirty laundry?
No, this is I'm explaining what happened. He took a bag, or took like a poncho, put it over the top, grabbed the bag, took it outside, and put it on its side, and waited for the cockroach to come out, and it didn't, and we could just see it crawling in there. So I just kind of like dumped it, because there was
My
no
laundry basket?
maybe because there was
You dumped my laundry basket?
because there was no.
Oh, no.
Wait, did you want us to leave the cockroach in it? Did you want to do laundry with the cockroach in it?
Why did you give me this full story before?
I thought I did.
No, you didn't.
No, we dumped out your laundry on the sidewalk out front, and and the cockroach came flying out, and we both went, nope, and just reeled away. And then Layton, it's like 5 feet away from us. He picks up a brick and chucks it, hits it directly, and kills it in one hit. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So, we just left it there. I put all Zoe's laundry back in the laundry basket, took it back inside, texted you, and was like, so...
I'm so sorry you had to deal with my dirty laundry.
We had a cockroach. It was like, it wasn't even half full. It was
Okay.
pretty, it wasn't a lot. But that's the thing, it was down to the bottom, so we couldn't get it out. It was like, and I was like, alright. So, Zoe comes back, a few days pass. And who was it that came to our door?
Alicia.
Alicia
So
comes, yeah.
we were at lunch or something,
Mhm.
and
Oh yeah, we hadn't
came
been in the
back,
room for a couple hours.
and we came back, or we were doing something. I don't remember what we were doing, but we weren't in the room.
Yeah.
And we had just got back, and we were chilling, and all of a sudden we hear a knock on our door.
Mhm.
And so we
And
go
it's pretty
over-
normal. People come here
Yeah,
for like
people come
food
here.
or dishes or like
This
whatever.
is the same person who came here this morning and was like, "Do you have any hydrochloric acid?"
Yeah, we're pretty used to this. We also have the first aid kit, and
Same
people
chick.
need that
Yeah,
sometimes.
I have a first aid kit that I bring with me,
Because
and it
no one
has
else has
everything
one,
in
apparently.
it. And so we hear a knock on our door, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And Alicia's just like, hey, so
I wanted to let you
I
know.
wanted to let you know that, like, I saw this big-ass bug, I think it was a cockroach,
Crawl under your
crawl
door
under your door a couple hours ago, and we're just like, shit.
I'm like out of sight off to the side and I just go, no, not again.
Faith is terrified.
I hate them. They're so gross. Ugh.
They are disgusting.
I didn't even know that until the first one happened and I just had that immediate flight response of like, nope, and I ran out the door.
And so
it was bad.
we start moving things, and I get the spray that we have, some ant spray that also works on like cockroaches and all that stuff.
And we started moving things.
And so we started moving things. Like,
And we didn't find it initially.
We didn't find it initially. Like, I lifted up the rug, and I'm like, okay, Faith, what I'm gonna need you to do is I'm gonna lift up the rug. If you see it, spray it. And Faith's like,
And
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
For later reference, I'm standing right over by our trash can. This will come into play in a second.
Yes, this
as
is very
we're doing
important.
this, as we're lifting up the rug, and I was like, I'm trapped in a corner. So I was
Faith
like,
is
I do not want
terrified.
to stand here with the spray. If that thing comes at me, I'm stuck. I'm fucked.
So,
But I did it.
Faith is terrified.
I was
And
ready to.
so
I was ready to leave
then we're
you.
going- then we're
I was
going-
gonna leave you behind
I
for that
know.
thing.
Then we go to the other side, and still nothing. And so we're like going through.
I'm like, okay.
We're going through the corners and stuff. I'm checking, like, got like
Yeah.
my phone out. I'm checking, and we're thinking, okay, maybe it left.
Yeah, maybe it left. It's not here
And
anymore.
so we spray
maybe...
the door.
Yeah.
So we spray the edge of the door to make sure that, like, if it did leave, then it can't come back through.
Yeah. Which has worked so far. We haven't had anything.
Yeah, we haven't
since
had
then.
anything else since then. I think
I
we've
also
had, like,
sprayed.
one or two.
I
ants
also
that we've
sprayed
seen.
I sprayed some stuff over on that end of the rug at some point, so I think that might also have helped. That was the charger incident, but it's
the
yeah.
charger incident.
So-
I'm like, Faith is at the door at this point, and she's
But
got,
I'm like, I'm
the
kinda-
ladders and stuff over there.
Yeah, and I'm
because we're
trying to
looking
put
under
stuff
the thing.
back, and I'm like moving things. I'm like, we're good. It's probably
And
not
I go
here.
to move the trash can,
Which I was standing by a minute ago.
and I pick up the trash can, and
And
there's
it's
this
right
like
there.
half dead thing. So we had sprayed the baseboards
Yeah,
before, and it's upside down, and it's like.
Yeah, just legs flailing, just right under the trash can where I was. And
And-
Zoe's like, so
And I'm
I'm
like-
glad I found this. And
Yeah, I'm
not
like, I'm
you."
glad I'm the one who picked up the trash can. I'm glad you didn't go to take the trash out earlier.
Yeah, because I
And
was
so
going to. I almost
Faith
took the
is
trash
at
out.
the door, and Faith is like, I don't want to see it. You're freaking out.
I could not look at it. I was at the door and I looked over, saw it one time, and like actually felt sick. Like nope, and I just turned around. I was facing the hallway, just like Zoe kill it.
So I'm just like,
Zoe, kill
Faith,
it.
give me
Zoe,
the
kill it."
spray, and I get the spray, and then I just spray it, and I just watch it like die, and I feel really bad about it, but
I
also
didn't. I
like
hate it.
it was nasty. And so then I got a piece of paper from an assignment of something, and I used
Because
it, and
the guy
scooped it up.
the guy who would help me with the first one was not in the dorm. I was gonna go be like, hey, pick this one up, but he was not
So
there.
I just used like a little piece of paper, like picked it up, tossed
Yeah.
it in the trash can, and then we took it out, and it was no problem.
Yeah.
And then we like made sure we
And
checked,
then we checked again.
everything, and then we cleaned that
Yeah.
weekend too.
yeah,
Like,
and then we deep cleaned
yeah, then we deep cleaned.
after a bit. But
Just
yeah,
to
that
make
was
sure.
a fun time.
It was hilarious. I mean, it was a little scary, but then I was talking to my mom and stuff, and we hadn't taken any pictures of it, but I was talking about how big it was, and she was like, yeah, that's not actually a cockroach, that's just a water bug. You're
I'd
fine."
only seen smaller cockroaches, but it looked like a cockroach to me at first, especially from a distance. But like, it probably was just a water bug.
Let me see.
Speaking of transitions, speaking of cramped spaces you can completely deep clean in like one afternoon, we live in a very cramped space.
Yes, we do.
And we have luckily, this is more of a tips thing for if you end up living in a dorm ever, which I mean, the idea of staying in a dorm for at least one semester a year for the dorm experience, I would recommend that. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still gonna be in dorms probably next year, but I'm gonna get a single dorm, and Zoe's probably not gonna live on campus.
I don't know yet, we'll see.
A lot of people have issues with trying to, like, organize everything, trying to rearrange stuff. We've managed to be pretty successful in organizing things that we use every day. Like, we have a shelving thing, like a plastic shelf thing, where we keep all of our cooking stuff. And I mean, we lend that out to people a lot, so it's good to have that pretty organized. Zoe also has, like, a hanging, like, shoe thing that would go on the back of a door that just has, like, a bunch of, like, our tape and, like, I think you have a bunch of pencil bags of stuff.
I have
and, like,
pencils, and I have some of my, like,
but yeah,
my licorice.
anything's like that, like little storage
all
things
of my
like that.
little,
are
all of my
very
little
helpful.
things for my Polaroid camera.
Nice.
But yeah, and I have all my cords and stuff in here, like the cord we used to do this on. I have the cords and stuff for
Because
that
I lost
in there.
mine.
I have a bunch. Yeah, that's okay.
I'll find it. But yeah, no, just we organized pretty well. We don't have like a ton of storage containers and stuff. We just have like the most strategic ones. And
Yeah,
we utilize the space we have because like we each only have one shelf, but Zoe has like boxes of stuff organized on that shelf.
Yeah, I have little storage containers. Like I've got.
And I use
Stuff
like the
with-
space under it in the closet area to put stuff.
I've
So.
got.
I have like my printer back there and like yeah.
I've got one box of stuff I've got the first aid kit in a in one of those clear totes, and then I've also got like extra stuff, as I put it, and it's got like, because if I bought toothpaste in like a 2-pack, then I put one of them in there, or like contact solution, stuff like that, like in there.
And just like notebooks and your like bags and things.
Yeah, I just have everything up there so that way it's out of the way.
You're a lot better with this than I am. Like I have a pile. I have a cardboard box and a pile.
Something that is also pretty nice to have in the dorm is I got a Google Home for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
and as much as I hate that the Google Home,
you're so mean to it.
I
though.
like abuse the Google Home.
I like ask it questions and I'll talk to it and I'll say good morning to it because I'm me. And Zoe will just yell at it.
I'll be like, "Hey Google, you're a bitch."
I don't understand.
So,
hey Google, I love you.
I can't believe this moment finally came. You should know I think you're the best.
Thank you, Google.
Faith is like having a moment. Faith loves Google.
That's so cute. I love the Google Home. We talk when you're not here.
I know.
Because I'll ask about the weather and stuff, and then I'll just keep going.
It'll be like 3 a.m. sometimes, and we'll be like, "Hey Google, I can't sleep. Play a lullaby," and she'll be twinkle twinkle little
yeah,
star.
Google can sing to you. It's very nice. We're not necessarily endorsing Google because gathering information is up with
Lullaby
it.
by Lullaby Lab. Sure.
I didn't say
Playing
Google.
on
I didn't
Spotify.
say
No.
Google. Hey Google, pause.
No, but it heard me.
Thank you.
Google's a bitch.
It stopped and one note just kept going for a second. That was creepy.
Google's a bitch.
I love Google.
I mean, yes,
You're
I
so
love
mean to
Google.
techno. It's like my houseplants.
Technically,
we
Google
talked about this.
Google owns the platform that we're posting this on, so I mean, they might demonetize us. I say demonetize as if they give us any money.
Yeah, if we made money, I
think we need like 5
we're
minutes.
very, very off topic.
So yeah, food in the dorms.
Food. We actually just had a meal that wasn't that bad, but they rarely have it.
Yeah, I really like when they have tacos.
We had roast potatoes and carrots, and
because they have these little
rolls.
mini taco things.
I fit 7 rolls in my to-go container with my other food. I'm very
yeah,
proud.
we don't eat in the dining halls.
No,
like we
'cause
get
it's
food
just-
from there,
it's
and then we get it to
loud
go.
and it's
You can't have a conversation.
no.
And
I don't like eating in front of people.
Me and Faith would just rather come back to the dorm and listen to Magnus Archives.
Have a peach soda.
Yes.
It's
Yeah, the
great.
only thing that's kind of disappointing about not eating in the dining halls is that you don't get a drink.
Yeah.
Because they're hose.
You could. They give you little cups.
I know, but it's tiny.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they have the same, 10 meals, and most of them are just chicken.
And the chicken is so
sucks.
bad.
It's, fatty, it's chewy, it's not good. And
Listen.
I have a couple.
EIU Housing and Dining.
Please.
We love you,
But
but
please.
please,
better food.
please be kind to
More
us.
variation in food, or at least, alter a bit.
And please make your allergy-friendly section,
Actually
a little
interesting.
better, because,
It's the same every day, right?
Yeah, it's basically just rice,
Yeah.
which is what I can't eat.
Yeah. It's fun.
I'm not even
But they have soy milk, so it's fine.
They have soy milk and almond milk that I can get, but it's
No,
in
I
a little
gotta-
thing, and yeah.
I gotta tell you some lovely inventions that I have encountered from the dining center recently that Zoe has not seen. So the other day, when they have garlic bread, I get very excited because their garlic bread is good. And I went to get garlic bread the other day, and they had burgers the day before. I went to pick up my garlic bread, and it was a hamburger bun taken apart into the 2 pieces, and then with some butter and garlic on it. And they called it garlic bread.
I mean, I told you that was like
It
how
sucked.
when Faith was telling me about this, it just reminded me of when I was in high school.
We
And
didn't have
their
meals.
idea of garlic bread or breadsticks was a open-faced hot dog bun. That had been,
honestly better.
No,
This
it was
a thin
stale.
bread ratio.
It was stale,
Yeah.
sprinkled with a little bit of cheese, and then burnt on.
I have another fun one. So one of my favorite meals that I like that last time I had the chicken sucks, I'm kind of getting a little disillusioned, is they have what kind of chicken is it that goes with the donuts and stuff?
Sweet and sour or General Tso's?
Sweet and sour chicken.
When they have the
Quote
Asian
unquote
nights, it's
Asian
pretty good.
donuts. Which I don't know if that's really a thing, but that's what they call it.
Yeah,
And
in a lot of Asian
and
restaurants
crab
that have
rangoon, which the
Asian
crab rangoon
restaurants.
is the best thing they have.
The crab rangoons are nasty.
I love it.
I like
But-
the crab rangoons that are you like the wonton wrappers that are curly and crunchy.
Yeah, because they're crunchy.
I like the ones that are they're little triangles.
Okay.
I like the triangle crab rangoons.
But last time I went there, the donuts they usually have. The donuts that they usually have, they had done biscuits the day before, and the donuts were those same biscuits, now not stale, but not great, cut in half with sugar on them.
I love it.
And those were their donuts. They handed them to me, and I was like, what? What is this? So yeah, it's a fun time. I work at the food court. I'm not gonna say we have necessarily better food. We kind of
But your food actually costs money.
That's true, and it is better.
You can't use your dining. You can't use your dining.
Your actual
Your meal
swipes,
swipe. Yeah.
No, we also have like Chick-fil-A, which fuck Chick-fil-A, but and Subway and stuff.
Yeah.
And we have a grill where the fries are actually good.
One of the better meals on campus in the dining centers is when they do like a pot roast thing, because pot roast is something that's really good after it's been like soaking for a while.
And that's what we had today.
Sits for a little bit.
And the potatoes were delicious.
The potatoes, sometimes when they do like the russet potatoes and it's like the little tiny ones, and they're like little
These were
tiny
cooked
balls
really well.
of joy, and they're soft and they're good, and like the meat's fatty, and it's just like delicious. And it's got like onions and carrots, and I throw some extra carrots in there because I love carrots. And then we get the rolls, and you shove like 8 rolls in your thing, which the feat of shoving 8 rolls into a to-go container itself is amazing and hilarious.
Yeah.
It's totally worth just going for that. Just watching
yeah.
Faith, like,
I got 7 today.
I'll glance over and I'll just see Faith with like
With the tongs.
the
just
one
taking them
day
out.
the one day I was across the thing from you and I just see
Yeah.
like 5 of them go in and I kind of laugh and you're like, don't judge me.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know it was me.
I've also snuck biscuits out in my pockets before.
I mean, same.
It's a fun time. But no, yeah, a lot
I
of the
sneak
times...
strawberries out.
Yeah, the food here isn't great. We get stuff from Walmart a lot, and that is the one thing that I like about moving to campus, is that we are like 5 minutes from Walmart, and we're close to so many fast food restaurants,
I mean, this
and
is
so many
coming
places
from
that deliver.
both of us. We're from small towns that have
Yeah,
like...
I was 15 minutes away from a gas station, and the closest place to eat was like 30 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, the closest Walmart to me was at least 30 minutes away.
Oh, the closest Walmart?
And
30, 40.
The grocery store in my town...
We had a Dollar General, that's all we had.
Things are very expensive because it's kind of... It's not quite a food desert, but it's sort of a food desert where it's just far enough, like... They can charge you $5 for a box of Kraft mac and cheese because they know you're not going to go to Walmart and spend $1 on it.
Yeah,
And I get it, it's a mom and pop store, like, they're just trying to make money, but also...
But yeah, I have very much enjoyed being actually close to places, because if I'm like having a bad day and want some Dairy Queen, I can just go there in like 3 minutes and come back. If we want to order, like, Jimmy John's is across the street, so if you don't want to order, you can walk there.
We walked to Jimmy John's the one night after we watched The
Yeah.
Witcher.
Uh-huh.
We had all had
We got Jimmy John's and alcohol, right? Oh
Yeah.
no, we were drunk, but
Yeah,
that's what,
we
we
weren't-
were tipsy.
We
not
were
drunk.
tipsy. We had a couple of drinks, and
Right.
then we were watching We Do Wine in The
Yeah,
Witcher.
there's an alcohol store right down the street.
Yeah, so we went to
There's
Jimmy
a tattoo
John's.
place. There's.
We went to Jimmy
They
John's.
know it's a college town. They know.
We went to Jimmy John's, and then Faith was like, I've never had beer before. And I was like,
I thought it was after that because I was tipsy by the time we went to Jimmy John's.
no, but we had some stuff here. Remember, we had wine.
Oh yeah, I said I never bought alcohol before. So we
You
went
had
and
never
got
bought
beer,
alcohol before, and you
beer
had never
sucks.
had beer. I like beer.
I
I
hate
like
beer.
like
I like rosé. I'm a stereotypical white person, according to... Was it you or my sister who said that?
I mean, both of us.
I
Probably.
think that was you. She told me I was a stereotypical white lady because I liked rosé, and I was like, yeah, okay.
I like really cheap malt liquor. Like, and I know
I
that,
like cheap wine.
like
I like white wine.
like I mean, the world will hate me for this, and my mom's boyfriend judges me so hard. But like, I really like King's Cobra, or King Cobra, whatever it is. It comes in a glass
I
bottle.
liked
It's like
the rum and
$2.50 and
Coke.
it's giant.
Not rum and Coke. What was it you
Oh,
had?
the Jim Beam bourbon and Coke.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, that was good.
Because it just tastes like Coke, but better because I hate Coke.
So yeah, I like Steel Reserve, and I like King Cobra, and I mean, it's the cheap shit, and I don't mind that because when usually I'm not drinking to get drunk, I kind of just like the taste of it, and so it's nice to have a little glass of that sometimes in the evening and just sit back and...
And because we're both over 21, we can now actually have... Well, I mean, we could have alcohol in the room when you were 21 and I wasn't, but now it's more of a, like, we're good. Like, there's... Because you can only have
We have
up
a
to,
wet
like...
room.
Yeah, you can only have up to a certain percentage. If neither person's 21, you can't have alcohol in the room. If one person is, it's kind of like you can, but...
It's a damp room.
Yeah, and then it's a wet room, they call it, which I hate, if both people are over 21. So when I turn
At least
21,
it's not a moist room.
I don't know.
Moist.
I don't like that word. I don't have, like, an actual reaction to it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, me neither. It's very uncomfortable.
You know, we had one more thing we wanted to talk about because this is something we had to figure out
Oh,
over
yeah.
the course of the first semester for if you're going to live in a dorm. So, like, this is the thing that I wish people were like, hey, before you live with someone after never having actually shared a room, you should probably know this.
I mean, I did have a room with my sister for
I've
a really long
never-
time.
I've never shared a room with
But
anyone
also
in my
we
life.
were young. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I think by the time we were like by the time I was like 12, we had our own rooms. But before that, we had always shared a room.
But yeah, we realized over the course of last semester, we would, after we'd been living together for like a month or two,
Yeah, I think it was like
we
6
were both
weeks-ish.
getting a little anxious and kind of pissy, and we weren't really sure why.
And we're trying to figure it out, and we're
And
like,
one day you were gone all day,
yeah.
and you came back, and we were both like, I understand now.
I was
we
just
needed to
like-
get away from each other.
I walked in the dorm and I was like,
You're like, no offense.
I was like, no offense, but I think I needed some space.
And I was like, same though.
And you were like, I think you had slept like the whole day too. You said you would take a
I
nap.
took a nap and I listened to music and just chilled the fuck out.
And I was just, we were just like, oh shit, like I think we just needed a break. Cause
So yeah, it's
me and Faith, we're friends, but also,
Yeah.
I mean, I know
Like,
I
we
get
don't
on
have a lot
Faith's
of-
nerves, and I know Faith gets on my nerves occasionally.
You said that so like Faith. You. Yeah, no, I'm aware. But no, that's something you need to know before you live with someone is that even if you're like, oh, we're like, we work
get
well
along
together,
really
we get
well, we're
along,
really
we're
good
good
friends.
friends, you're going to get to a point where you're going to have, not necessarily like a fight or issues, but just you're going to get to the point where you're living in a tiny room. Every single day you're seeing the same person, and every like thing they do is going to begin to seem annoying just because you get that frustration of living in this tiny space with someone. So like I don't like dislike you anymore than like initially anymore than I didn't dislike you in the first place, and it hasn't
I get
grown.
it, Faith.
I didn't dislike you at first, and I don't dislike you now.
But we both realize that we
Yeah.
need space occasionally.
Like, yeah, occasionally you're going to have to,
Like,
like,
we had
go
a-
to the movies, or I got to the point where I drove a few hours away to go see a movie that was only out a few hours away, and I've never driven that far on my own in my life, just out of sheer anxiety and frustration. I just left. I
mean,
got
we
back
had
at
a
12:30 in
situation-
the morning.
We had a situation like last week too where we were both like,
That's true, but
Like,
that was mostly on me.
and then I went back and
It's
I
not
was
a bad year.
It's okay. I like went back to my house and I was like going to see my cat and stuff, and then I got back and you were just like, yeah, I think I needed some time on my own. I'm just like, yeah, I feel that. Like, me too. Like, that's kind of why I wanted to go home.
Here's another
I
recommendation.
miss my cat.
Go to therapy.
Yes, go to therapy.
Especially if you're on a campus where you can get student insurance like we did that's relatively cheap and then pays for everything. Because it's so nice.
Yeah, the only time you ever have to pay for anything when it comes to therapy is if you end up on meds.
Yeah.
Which I think it's like a $5 fee for every time I pick my stuff up. Like, it's really cheap.
But for me, I had
Or
gotten
if
to
you
that point.
don't show up to therapy, then it's a $15 charge.
Yeah. But for me, I'd gotten to. I don't know, I was having a lovely, weird, yearly seasonal depression thing going on, so I was not having a great time anyway. And then I was also at that point where I was like, I can't deal with living with someone, but I didn't realize it because I thought it was all just the same thing. And I went to therapy and talked it out and came back just like, okay, I know how to deal with this.
And he was
We're
just
good.
like, you're annoyed by your roommate, it's fine. Is that what he said?
Kind of. It wasn't annoyed by it was the like living with someone and like the not having space to yourself thing. It wasn't like your roommates like no, he was like, hey, like
I'm
like
the
you're
worst.
so far into this year of academics, you've been taking classes, doing homework for so long, and also you're living in a tiny room with a person.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it was weirdly eye-opening. I was like, oh yeah, you're not wrong, man. But no, basically, if you are thinking of living in a dorm, or if you do right now and just need some tips, like, take whatever you can from this episode, go to therapy if you have the chance to. I know a lot of people don't
And
have
make a
access
list
to
ahead
it.
of time.
Make
An
a list
item
ahead
and,
of time.
and sort that list out into different things. Like, have a hygiene/bathroom thing. Like, you're gonna need... Like, and make it a few months ahead of time if you
And
can.
if you know your roommate ahead of time, get to know that person before you live together. And again, have your list ready. Divide who has to buy what for the room. Make sure that you take some time off after you've been living together for a while, because you might do what we did and get really frustrated or anxious and just tired of living really, because it's a small
Yeah.
room and it's a space where you're in the same place every single day. Like, take mini vacation things. Like, I'll just go to the movies, or I'll drive somewhere.
Or go for a
because
walk.
Campus is it's very stagnating.
Like, the other day, it was finally warm, and
We went and just
we-
sat in the sun.
took some of our homework and a book and some
Yeah, just-
snacks, and we just went and we sat on... There's a little structure on our campus called the Doudna Steps. Put our headphones in, listen to some music.
But yeah, basically, people always say get out of the room as much as you can. And I always took that to mean go to events, but it doesn't have to. Just go for a walk. Find a nice place to go sit. Because honestly, you get so just pent up, just staying in the same room all the time. So just go outside, And good luck with your possible college experience or just with life.
And
Because you're going to end up living with people probably.
this is about the middle of the semester, so good luck on your midterm. One of your hosts, Zoe.
And I've been Faith, and we'll see you next time.